we're young and they're getting old, so they know we're coming every single year.
Gets you into both courts. It is just an amazing offensive part of the company. I like that though. From the tip, Kuminga up top. Wiseman for three.
Both those teams have played 5 games. With a nice look at
We're young and they're getting old, so they know we're coming every single year.
A lot of people are saying that the Golden State Warriors won't be as good in 2023 because they lost a ton of players, but the truth is, the people that are saying that must be out of their minds. I mean, let's take a look at the truth here for a second. This is the statistics of the Warriors from the finals they just won against Boston. And if you're wondering what the column marked yellow is, it's minutes played per game. There were 8 players who averaged over double digits in the minutes for the Warriors in the finals, and the absolute fact of the matter is, the Warriors were able to retain the top 6. Gary Payton and Otto Porter were huge in the playoffs. Every Warriors fan is going to miss them, including me. But look, they only averaged 18.6 and 17 minutes per ball game. And to fill in the hole left by those two, at least 6 to 7 NBA players are going to train and literally fight tooth and nail for those minutes. And my goodness, guys, with almost a year left to improve the roster until the 2023 playoffs start, let's just start imagining a few scenarios that are all likely to happen. Scenario number 1. Kuminga goes to Splash Brother University and improves his overall shooting percentage. So far throughout his first 3 Summer League games, Kuminga has been playing like he's wearing a beard. I'm serious. I mean, he's been on average going to the free throw line about 10 times per game. That's almost like the Houston Rockets version of James Harden. But the only thing is, Kuminga's free throw accuracy has been at 40% so far this summer. In addition, his three-point shooting percentage, if I were to say it nicely, hasn't looked too good. If he can bump his free throw efficiency up to about 80% and his three-point shooting percentages to the mid-30s, then as a player who's coming off the bench, he'll be invaluable for the 2023 Warriors because, look, first off, he's already a walking bucket. I mean, he's about as athletic as it gets when it comes to the wing positions, but if he just becomes a little more efficient, just imagine what that'll mean for the non-Curry minutes. Secondly, he'll be able to give Curry more resting time as the clock will essentially be stopped while he's taking those free throws. Especially if he takes a page out of Giannis's book and spends like 30 seconds per free throw. And speaking of Giannis's 30-second free throw routines, look at James Harden's reaction to it taking so long.
Takes so long.
Yeah.
Like his routine, and interestingly watching.
Anyway, next off, imagine scenario number 2. James Wiseman becomes Kevon Looney's apprentice and plays all 82 regular season games. The 2020 number 2 overall pick has recently taken to the floor again in the Summer League, and although there's a bit of rust showing, his elite athleticism coupled with his size has already given glimpses of what'll be possible for the 2023 Warriors. Steve Kerr must be beyond excited that a player of Wiseman's capabilities is going to be joining a championship-level team. I mean, he's already been effortlessly dunking the ball, he's already been smoothly shooting it from the mid-range and from the perimeter, and, on top of all that, he's blocking shots left, right, and center like it ain't no thing. If Wiseman can stay healthy for the whole 82-game regular season, then with all the repetitions he'll get within games, his skill level should naturally improve by leaps and bounds by the time the playoffs start. Sheesh, guys, I'm already getting excited just thinking about seeing him in Warriors games again. And although he won't be an MVP candidate just yet, just learning how to play defense without fouling and learning his positioning on the floor should come as he gains experience over the course of a full season. Then last off, we have scenario number 3, where Moses Moody. Honestly, guys, it's a pretty simple name, but this is how confused Kendrick Perkins got when trying to pronounce his name.
When you look at Moses Moody,
Sheesh, guys. Did y'all hear what I just heard? That was ridiculous. Anyway, Imagine scenario number 3, where Moses Moody ends up taking that second-year leap. Similar to how Desmond Bane from the Grizzlies made huge improvements in his second year, if Moses Moody can do the same, then my goodness, guys, the Warriors are going to be stacked to the rim. I mean, Moody is already a good shooter. He already plays decent defense. He already has a knack for cutting to the rim. Imagine if he gets just a little bit better in every area of his game and how valuable that would be for the Warriors. Talk about loaded. Anyhow, the overall point I'm trying to drive home here is that despite losing key members, the 2023 Warriors are most likely, when the playoffs arrive, going to be better than they were in 2022. It's not just these three either. Jordan Poole has literally been evolving year after year, and it's not a stretch to say that he'll be playing at an all-star level in 2023. I mean, at his current rate next season, he should be averaging 20 points per game while shooting 50, 40, and 90. The insane thing is, he'll be coming off the bench. Moving on here to the starters, Andrew Wiggins will be entering his physical prime, and also, his contract extension talks are coming up, so he's going to want to put on his best performance year ever to maximize his earnings. I'm expecting more posters from Wiggins. Hopefully this time, the referees don't call offensive fouls to highlights like these. Klay Thompson, on the other hand, is going to have the whole offseason to get his legs back. What that means is that the Warriors are going to have the 77th best player in NBA history on their roster. I still can't believe he got left out of the top 75. Steph Curry is going to continue playing like a finals MVP. I mean, even though he'll be entering his mid-30s, he doesn't look to be slowing down one bit. I honestly wonder what Dylan Brooks is going to say when a 35-year-old Curry knocks out the Memphis Grizzlies again. Moving on here, Looney will be Looney and play all 82 games again, and Draymond, he'll get his gold YouTube play button before I do, probably. Dang it. All jokes aside, the outlook on the 2023 Warriors has got to be scaring NBA teams around the league, and for good reason. I mean, first off, in 2022, they literally breezed through the Western Conference without even breaking a sweat. And then in the finals, they made light work of one of the best defenses the NBA has seen in the last decade. And then, this upcoming season, they're going to get better. And that's just not fair. And where does the NBA even go here after the Warriors clamp down again in the playoffs? I mean, do you think John Morant is still going to be chanting Grizzlies in 7 after the Warriors beat them again? And how about the Phoenix Suns? Well, first off, after the beating they got from the Mavericks, I don't think Devin Booker will be talking any trash at all for the next 2 or 3 seasons. But in basketball terms, where do they go once they realize they're completely outclassed by Golden State? And then there's LeBron James. Honestly, where does LeBron go here in his NBA career when he realizes the gap difference between the Lakers and the Warriors? Will he convince his business partner Draymond Green to let him on the roster? I know a lot of fans hate this idea, but seriously, if you've been following what Draymond has been saying, I think he truly is lobbying for LeBron to on a veteran's minimum once his Lakers contract is up. Anyway, let's talk about the other LA team for a bit first, the Los Angeles Clippers. People are talking them up and saying how they're going to represent the West next season, but let's not forget, despite looking good on paper 2 seasons ago, and even with a healthy Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, they almost lost to the Mavericks when Luka was only 21 years old. I'm never going to let that one go. And on top of that, the Warriors just ran laps around the Mavericks, so if they were to match up against the Clippers in the postseason, the result probably wouldn't be for Steve Ballmer's ball squad. Which poses a big question for Clippers Nation. Where do they go here if a prime Kawhi and PG-13 can't get past the Warriors? I mean, these last 2 years, they've been given a pass because Kawhi Leonard was hurt, but now that he's healthy again, where can the Clippers go if they lose at full strength? Their 2 superstars are getting older, and with every passing year, their championship window is closing. With regards to the Eastern Conference, they've probably realized as well that they stand no chance against the Warriors. So, the Celtics were by far the best team in the East. They swept Kevin Durant and the Nets. They beat a healthy Miami Heat that cruised by the 76ers and the Hawks. They outdueled Giannis and the Bucks. But even with all that being said, I mean, without that miraculous fourth quarter in Game 1, the Warriors would have literally gentlemen swept them. The NBA won't say they're afraid of the Warriors, but what Steph Curry said back in 2021 will also apply to the 2023 season.
You don't want to see us next year. You don't want to see us next year.
You don't want to see us next year.